Hey, what's up? It's Rashad hanging with the Joneses. Season 1, Hawkeye, Disney Plus, just dropped at 3 a.m. Eastern. So the first two episodes, they were actually pretty long. They're like almost 45, 50-minute episodes. So kudos to Disney for that. They really flowed really well. And I just want to get into a spoiler discussion about both of those episodes. So if you haven't seen it, spoilers, I can't talk about it without actually talking about it. So here we go. First episode, Never Meet Your Heroes. Second episode is Hide and Seek. They definitely work as a companion piece to each other. First one introduces up to Kate Bishop with a retroactive scene from the Battle of New York from OG Avengers. And her perspective, her parents' perspective, her dad died, of course. Somebody has to die as a parent. It's Disney. Then her mom basically becomes this sort of security expert, has a security firm. Kate ends up being a skilled archer because she sees Hawkeye defending, basically saved her life, so to speak. And she wants to follow in those footsteps, learns martial arts, goes to fancy boarding school. Mom's super rich now in the present day. Oh yeah, this is about 2 years after the re-snapping. So this is current, about as current day as you're gonna get in Marvel. Yeah. So now Kate Bishop is how can I put this? The 22-year-old nepotism. Yeah, so basically, she's gonna everything is handed to her, so to speak, because her mom is in a position to do that. She works for her mom's security firm. When she graduates college, she's gonna essentially be in the company, and everything's pretty set up. The tension is between mom's new boyfriend Armand and him. She's not feeling him, so there's a very back and forth between those two guys in regards to their future relationship, which is funny because there's a lot of comedy in this, and it's really subdued. It's not like over the top, but it's there. Like there's a back and forth between Armand and Kate when they're at the dinner table, and he says like he's singing all this like sort of heady stuff about parenting. He said, yeah, I read a book about being a stepdad. Like Kate is like, 5 or something. So there's a lot of that type stuff in there. We also have Clint, who is on vacation, and he's dealing with two major things. First thing, trying to reconnect with his family. And the second thing is dealing with his past. Like those are the two major themes we get at the onset of the show, because he's at this ridiculous musical of the Battle of New York, and it's funny. It's not even accurate like most musicals are, like Hamilton, not accurate. So Ant-Man is is in the Battle of New York as well with the Pimtech sign, which is a nice little throwback to the comics. But yeah, it's really funny. His family's there, and he's not having a good job, not doing a good job, not having a good time with that whole situation. So he is dealing with actually a lot of PTSD as well, because he's having flashbacks of Natasha. Basically, he is deaf now in one ear totally. So he essentially turned down his daggone his inner ear device and didn't want to listen to the actual thing. So goes to the bathroom, crazy scene, which kind of deals with people and celebrity, how like regular people deal with celebrities in public. He goes to the bathroom, he's actually just taking a piss, and the dude a urinal down is like, hey man, be crazy, yo, I met you, can I get a selfie? Clint's like, man, it's not midstream, it's like it's not the time. He washing his hands, dude over his shoulders like, hey, now is an appropriate time. So there's a lot of him transitioning back into like the regular world after being essentially a hero for the past 10 years or so. So it's interesting watching that dynamic. Then Kate ends up going to some sort of fancy soiree, like a charity event, and she ends up meandering her way down to the basement where there is an underground bidding auction going on, like with a true auctioneer and the whole nine. And some crazy things, though, I think it's like a triceratops head was down there. Then the Ronin blade, so that's where that whole thing is introduced. Then there was the suit. So the suit becomes the MacGuffin for the first two episodes, basically. She puts the suit on, you know what I'm saying, try to save the day. Mom's boyfriend, I'm pretty sure he heard her voice because she spoke, because she's a goofy 22-year-old kid. And she kind of, just kind of quells the situation a little bit. But in doing so, makes the situation even worse because now they know who she is, Tracksuit Mafia, and which is a real funny, like Eastern European gang, and Clint already knows about them, so because he dealt with them during his Ronin days. And it's just a real interesting kind of mix of how we have Clint, who's like, really about this life, and then you have Kate, who is essentially a poser, wanting to bring true purpose to her life. And I'm guessing eventually we'll see that she's trying to honor her dad and break away from her mom and all that good stuff. Because like mom's is like really, really on some scum probably. I'm just gonna call that early. Mom seems to not be about that life. And definitely her boyfriend, Armand, was also down there bidding on items as well. And he ain't got no money, but he know her mom does. So he was going to bid on that anyway. Ends up stealing the Ronin blade. So it was a crazy event. And there's this other older gentleman, I guess it's like it was Armand's dad, because he's like Armand III. There's a little kid there earlier. He was like Armand VII. So he ends up dying like after the whole kerfuffle. And then Kate ends up going to Armand's place, Armand III, older guy, and sees him there, dead, blade, guy, like swords, a bunch of swords in her mom's apartment now, because they're in New York, of course, live in a very nice apartment. And she's just putting all the dots together. And it's really interesting. Another theme of this is trying to get home. And that's really Clint's motivation. Like he ends up they end up with the Ronin suit. With the Ronin suit, they end up going back to Kate's apartment. Tracksuit Mafia shows up from the clip from the trailer and burn Kate's apartment down. Clint tries to go back to get the suits, and it's gone. And crazy thing was he did this whole little clandestine thing, acting like he was a firefighter. So he goes to put the suit back, and he sees NYC LARP. So like a little sticker on the thing. So one of the firefighters actually stole the suit and was using it to LARP in, which is like hilarious. And the dude that did it is like, actually he's a comedian. He's a real funny dude too. I forgot his name, but he's funny. And that little back and forth they had with Clint going to the actual, like, to the LARP and having to play along, it was really funny to watch him kind of be out of his element. The Armand dude and Kate's mom are getting married, so that's where a lot of the contention is. Also, Kate is so starstruck by Clint that she's not even thinking. She's just reacting to everything very much like a rookie would do. So she's definitely like the person that he's gonna have to look after for the next 4 episodes. Well, 5 or 6 episodes. This is 9, so I'm sorry, 7 episodes. He's gonna have to look after her. And that's gonna become a burden to him because he only got like 5 days until Christmas, and there's a ticking clock for that because he's trying to get home. And we're getting introduced to more and more players. So Tracksuit Mafia, of course, Clint ends up getting the suit back, hides the suit. Now he has to deal with Tracksuit Mafia. He gets caught on purpose. And in episode 2, we see the Echo. And she's there, and she is basically the person who was running the Tracksuit Mafia. So there's a lot of small moving parts to this, which I'm kind of interested to see. I really like these first 2 episodes. I mean, they definitely left a lot on the table, so to speak, because definitely want to see more. So I appreciate that. And this is just it's good to see Hawkeye, because everybody hates on Hawkeye. My middle child was like, I'm not reviewing this with you because I hate Hawkeye. I was like, no Hawkeye slander. Like, it's not necessary. So I like Hawkeye because he's like the grounded person. Also, I can relate to him because he's a dad, and I have children. So that whole that entryway for me is very relatable, and he's just always the voice of reason and stuff. It's like when he talked to Wanda during the Battle of Sokovia. So yeah, a lot of that. If you saw it, what you think about it? You guys gonna watch entire episodes, or you just you just gonna be watching reviews and spoilers? So either way, let me know in the comments. I'm watching this whole thing, of course. We just drop this every Wednesday, so make sure you stay on, subscribe, and all the good stuff. And we'll see you again Monday. New pod, me and Keisha. Next Wednesday, review for episode 3. Till next time.